Hey guys, Trashman Matt here. Let me get myself on. Get up. Trashman Matt here. Hey guys, it's been a serious week that's kind of developed here. Crazy week. In fact, we're gonna get into that in a minute. We got some trash news to get into, some weather news as well, but also we got some personal news that actually has been that happened, and very serious personal news. We'll get into that real quick. We're gonna start with that. Monday, I was working on. Obviously, you guys saw the videos. I am still currently working on some of these videos. I was able to correct some of the problem with the older footage, and sorry, I'm reading the chat. We were able to fix the actual footage. However, it does take a lengthy edit process, and so that's going to be more of a situation to where I'm going to be working tomorrow to try to get these videos out today, at least tomorrow. And I am trying to get the Fairfield Blue Crew video out, and I'm also trying to get some of the videos that my coworker shot as well out as well. Now, Tuesday, well, we'll come back to Tuesday because that's actually that's a funny note. Yeah, this morning. What happened this morning? Are you still on Blue Crew? No, I am back to regular operations. The strike hasn't ended in my area, so we are on normal operations now. And so wins this morning. So I guess the tone. This happened. This is. I'm gonna show you guys a censored picture here in a second. But the my brother's best friend came over, and they're gentlemen in their 40s, having a good time, karaoke, drinking, and everything else. Nothing out of the ordinary. I went to bed, obviously for work and everything else, and about 2:30 this morning, I get woken up to a screaming, agonizing, painful sound like my brother's name. But I do live in a very poor income neighborhood and ghetto, so crazy homeless people going around screaming and yelling all the time is nothing new. But this one sounded different. This was more like someone was injured, and that caught my attention at first. And then I was hearing a distinct holler for help, and so I got up and looked out my curtain, and I saw my brother's best friend on the ground on the lawn out front. So I went to my brother and tried to wake him up. He was still passed out. I mean, this is what it is. I went out and checked on him. I was like, "What's up, bro? What happened?" And he had forgotten his phone. He had left, and he came back. Well, my brother had already went to bed, and everybody was asleep. And I do have a perimeter fence around the property, and it's 6 feet high, so you can't necessarily just walk in. So he tried to jump the fence, and apparently failed, and ended up breaking his leg. So that's something we did have happen today. And I'm not going to show the full video for the picture and everything else, obviously for his privacy. But as you can see behind me, this is the firefighters and my brother standing in the background and everything else. Like I said, he's on the gurney, and this is just a show you guys that this is what I had to deal with. I've been up since then, and that's why there's no editing for me tonight and everything else for that purpose. He is okay. He was in surgery, and he is out and talking, and he is okay. But he's gonna feel that for a while, and I don't think he's gonna be over here for a while because I think his wife's gonna kill him if he tries to come back over here. It was just a freak accident. I mean, and the good part is, I guess the thing is, I did get confirmation from him that he was not out there long. He wasn't out there for hours or nothing. No, he was, yeah. And that is the good part. That is something I was dealing with. That was something that was very stressful. But for those of you who are not familiar with my background, I am an EMT trained. So I was just doing the basic information until paramedics can actually arrive and transport him to the hospital, because obviously I don't have the equipment to do that. I have basic CPR equipment and everything else for immediate life saving, but I don't have anything that can really do that. And I obviously practice is not. That's an ALS situation, not a BLS situation. EMTs are BLS, as paramedics are ALS. So that means I can't like administrate ketamine like they did to him and everything else. So it's yeah. So that's it. Wasn't, I mean, the screams, I already know. I knew something was broke because I mean I've heard that scream before, and he's everything. And everybody in the chat that is saying hi, and also, yeah, welcome. The strike is over in California. The strike is still ongoing in Boston. We're going to get into that in a minute. I'm just giving you the update on this. Now, that is the, I guess, bad news so far we had going on. Today we had no issues at work, so that was good. And, sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Yeah, so that's basically that. Now, yesterday, something was interesting. I had this girl come flirt with me on the route. Yeah, wasn't expecting that and everything else. And, you know, me, I'm about as bullheaded as a nail, so I didn't pick up until about an hour later. Yeah, I'm that type of guy. I mean, I don't take well to, I just don't respond to social cues. It's just, yeah, fail on my part. Yeah, so basically that's the end of the, basically the immediate situation. Those of you, I see a lot of you are just jumping in and joining us. And yeah, we did have a serious incident. Again, I'm gonna bring that picture back up. We did have a serious incident at my residence. My brother's friend did suffer a broken leg when he tried to jump the fence to get back into the property. And yeah, he's okay. He's still in the hospital, but he's okay. But this happened this morning, and I'm just, again, sharing with the situation that did occur for those of you just joining us. And also the fail part too is I had a, where's it on? Ain't no way, Matt. Yeah. So, yeah, so let's get into that. Now, I do got some news I've been hearing, and I've been hearing some rumors and murmurs about this, is that the Boston Yard is losing contracts left and right, especially in the commercial department, where people are being laid off because of the strike that continues. And I don't know what the union is doing. I'm not there. I don't know what they're arguing about anymore. I don't think this has anything to do with anything anymore. I think this is just it's just the Union and Republic are just kind of having a divorce out there. I guess that's the best way to put it. Now, out here in California, Republic is catching back up to its standards, as the issue for our union dispute out here was resolved. The contract was agreed upon and signed last week. I was on my last brew crew on Saturday, so they're kind of like, you're on your own now. The Bay Area and everything else is on their own. And we're back to normal operations. And I do know there is a new rental coming. It may be an Autocar New Way or a Peterbilt ZR that's going to be replacing the Econog SD ZR that is here at the moment. That is due to just a cost overrun or whatever. So it's a cost thing. And on top of that, yeah, construction is starting in the transfer station, but I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, and I don't really know. But I will note something else too. This is a kind of a railroad news and everything else. I've been communicating with some railroad YouTubers about trying to figure out what's really going on here. There's an old decommissioned line here in the basically that runs through my route on Tuesdays that is being reactivated. A rubber line that's being rebuilt by the transfer station, and it's going all the way into basically almost Wilton, I guess. There's a lot of activity going on, and there's nothing about it. They keep it in secrecy. But they are getting in my way. And so it is something that is interesting to see. That line has been basically out of service for 30 years, and now suddenly they're bringing it back. I don't know. But that is, again, that's a side note on that part. Weather news, I did get a report that a water spout made landfall in New Jersey, and then there was also a water spout in Australia that made landfall as well. And I reported a couple of tornadoes here and there, but no towns that I know are affected or any casualties. Flash flooding events are continuing around the world in most areas, it seems like. Japan is experiencing it. Parts of Europe, I believe, also have experienced it, as well as most of the United States. Now, something is interesting here, too, is right now there is this like heat dome that's affecting most of the central U.S., while temperatures out here are in the 70s. And normally it's like 105 out here during this time of year. So, and yes, we know there are fires popped up in Washington. I know they're sending a lot of troops up there to help CAL FIRE and Forest Service. And I can go into a long thing of why the West is going to burn, but put it in a nutshell, it's just complacency on government. Nobody takes these things seriously until it already happens. Because why? Because they just don't want to invest the money. So that's basically that part. Yeah, And I'm hearing there's an interesting fight brewing for the contract in Citrus Heights. That's basically going to be an interesting part here. We're going to see how this happens and how this plays out. Not going to comment on it. All I know is there's an interesting fight going on here. If it's going to go out for bid or if it's going to get renewed by Republic, I don't know. And if I did, I wouldn't leak that because obviously I'm not going to trade secrets. I'm not some employees that abandoned the job. Yeah. So yeah, and I guess I'm reading here that Minnesota said some went on strike and also saw a tornado forming near me. Nice. Yeah. I've seen tornadoes here in Sacramento, California. They're weak, but they do some damage. So yeah, so that's basically what we got on those two fronts. And the weather front, it's kind of it's just the same ridge that's holding up. Tropical depressions aren't really. Yes, however, I am watching something that it may come down. And the reason I'm not showing this on a graph or anything else is just copyright purposes, obviously, because I am a YouTube partner now, so I have to be more discreet about what I share on live streams. As long as, like, when we're doing the videos would be Friday, and obviously with the content creator in the chat and everything else, that's you give them permission. So that's a different situation in comparison to just going and looking at somebody else's video without their consent. Again, that's kind of like the rules I gotta play by right now and everything else, and that's fine. Yeah, so this is kind of what we got going on. I am working on, like I said, I'm working on getting a lot more editing videos. There's more Corrado Cam videos that are going to be coming from my partner, and also some more other videos from the Blue Crew operations as well in Stockton. So the problem is, though, is these edits for one video that's about 8 minutes long, because of the way the editing is, and it's an older camera system on the GoPro system, it doesn't register on the editing app, so I have to go in and manually do it by the computer. So normally a 5-minute job takes me like an hour to do it, because I got to redraw everything together and do the audio and everything else. So it takes time. So those are going to be coming out. I'm going to be working on those during basically every day as much as I can, as long as crazy shit like what happened this morning don't happen. I mean, he's a good guy. My brother's best friend's a good guy, and I just, and I'm just sad. I'm sad. I felt bad for him. First of all, that something that just happened to him. I mean, he suffered a serious broken leg in the upper femur, so it's in the thigh, and that bone don't break easy. So I gotta say, man never does a job half-ass, and he don't start now. And yeah, so that's basically that situation with him. Again, also a missed opportunity. Any arguments or situations caught on camera in Blue Crew? Oh yes, there's an awkward thing when people thought I was their union driver and I wasn't, and I had a couple of them I just smiled and waved and kept going. Other ones that's coming out in the Fairfield one. You guys are going to see that one pretty soon. I'm hoping to have that one up tomorrow if I can get it edited and everything else. It's like I said, there's just been random shit happening this week that something's in the air. And the other thing too we noticed, and this is kind of a group thing on green waste because obviously it affects our commodity. We noticed the trees are starting to wilter. Their leaves are starting to turn brown and fall. No, any fights? No fights. I'm a professional. I'm not going to get into a fight with anybody. Not while I'm on duty. If you want to go to the bar and everything else, don't threaten me with a good time. But while I'm on duty and everything else, I am professional and everything else, and I know they're not yelling at me. They're yelling at the uniform, and you know what? These guys that call me scabs and everything else, you know what? I'm getting paid, you're not, so... And I'm picking up your trash. One of my boys out there had a union guy that wrote on his trash, no scabs, no, basically insulting us. So you know what he did? Picked up the trash, took that tag off, wrote, "You're welcome, sincerely, Scab," and put it back on his can. Sack waste, it's more in Elk Grove. It's the Elk Grove trees. It's the smaller ones that are changing. It's not obvious yet, but we're noticing some colorization, and it's just because of the weather's been so cooler. It's like these are almost like early spring or early fall temperatures that we're experiencing, 70s and low 80s. So confusing the environment. Also, weather-wise, forgot to mention, I am watching something coming down the pipe, which may affect the West Coast, may not, depending on exactly how this forms and how it goes on. And obviously, you're not going to know that anything past 3 days on these weather charts or forecast models is basically calculated situation. And but there looks like to be a serious polar vortex that might come down through the Gulf of Alaska. Again, that take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying is there are some models that are playing with that, and we're going to basically wait and see if it actually does. If that does, what does that mean? Well, there's going to be rain on the West Coast, especially in the Pacific Northwest with their fires. They need that. That's going to help the firefighters, especially in Washington and Oregon. And then there's also probably see some cooler temperatures, even below average temperatures here in California. Meanwhile, the central part of the country continues to bake under the heat dome. And then around the heat dome, you're going to see severe weather. Strong thunderstorms producing a lot of rain, a lot of gusty winds, and just flash flooding is going to be probably the biggest concern around those things, while other things are going to be obviously your typical hail. And is it going to affect the waters? Well, if it turns into a bomb cyclone, it will basically be hurricane force winds out there, or gale force winds, but again, we'll have to play that by Pacific. And just everything. You just filmed the waste management transfer station. Nice. Somebody came in the other day to our transfer station filming and riding in the back seat when they were making I guess they were making a drop off. Somebody, I don't know who it was. I'm pretty sure it's a streamer or a YouTuber, but I'm not sure who it was. I'd never seen it before. So, yeah. Bye. All right, have a good night. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to get up here and get you guys briefed on those circumstances that are happening behind the scenes. Yeah. Members and everything else. Some videos will be behind the members wall. These are more exclusive content that I'm not too comfortable with general circulation with, so that's kind of the reason behind that. Yeah, because well, corporate watches the videos. Corporate's probably watching right now because they spy on you. No, so that's basically one of the reasons why. That's how I'm going to use that. If obviously you guys want to see more exclusive behind the scenes or less edited content, and that's what I'm gonna do regarding the members and everything else. And it's gonna be available. Certain things will be available for the two different tiers. I'm still working on figuring it out because obviously it's new to me just as much as like it'd be it's new to the channel. So just want to point that out there to you guys and everything else. So yeah, Wednesday, hump day. Went off without a pitch. What did I see? I saw something today, didn't I? Oh. I did see something funny happen on route. A kid on an electric scooter, head in phone, not looking where he was going, went head first into a stop sign. Yeah. Head first into a stop sign, got clotheslined, fell down, got back up, looked around, looked at me, and I was laughing at him because been there, done that as a stupid teenager. Yes, I've done that, and yeah, I was work. Like I said, work was okay today. Like I said, I'm just tired from the excitement before work, but yeah, we're doing good. We're getting back here, and yeah. So everything's stabilizing here on the West Coast, at least with Republic. So, yeah, that kid, he was okay though. He got up, was embarrassed, and kept on going. So, yeah. 1 second. There's something else to bring up here. Oh. I don't know if I shared this to you guys, but I'm gonna hold on. Let me move myself. Let me move myself to the corner. 1 moment, please, if you would. There we go. I'm bringing this up to you. This was circling around on some of our. This is an area that was obviously on the strike. So what it says is, get your bitch asses back to work. We aren't paying you for nothing, fuckers. This customer said it all. I'm like, I'm with you, brother. Get the union back to work. And then there's just a lot of trash talking online. Like, me and my brother are going to do a skit this weekend. I'm going to upload it this weekend, too. And, yeah. We're doing a skit because it's like how people feel the trash war is going and how it really is going. I mean, my brother's going to be part of the, like, skits. We're going to be doing more skits and everything else just for more entertainment content, you know, and shenanigans. And if I piss somebody off and everything else, good. I was trying to. I mean, facts are facts and everything else, and the shoe fits, brother. I can't, I mean, you know, I ain't saying nothing, but if you want to own up to it, you can wear that medal with pride. But yeah, so let's get this off the screen now. And, yeah. So I'll bring this up and everything else to show you guys the weather point real quick. So as you can see, the baking heat in the middle part of the country, while the cooler temperatures are going to be in California. Again, kind of an anomaly here, but not something I'm familiar with. But, yeah. And another thing is, too, is I'm going to bring up the other... These are still images, too. So the good part is this is the precipitation outlook for about the next 6 to 10 days. This was taken about 2 days ago, so we're in that. As you can see, the Pacific Northwest is going to see some moisture, so hopefully that does help the fires out there. Everything else. WM goes on strike. Not sure. Are we doing reactions? That would be on Friday, Sacramento waste trucks. We'll be doing that on Friday. Like I said, because of the issue that we had with my brother's friend breaking his leg on the property, I've been up since 2:30 this morning, so I'm not going to be on here much longer, just to bring up something else. What else do we have here? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Let's show this. So, this was from Fairfield. Compliments of Fairfield, everybody. I had gotten sprayed when I was cleaning up everything from the behind the blade. It just came out and splashed on the ground and just got me good. I was not filming because my battery had died. And yeah, so that's what it is. So understand something. Even though you're in a side loader, the clean out will get you. That reminds me of a funny story. One of my coworkers, well, he's not here anymore, but it's still a funny story. So it was right after the rains, the rainstorm season, and the green waste was piling up, and we get a lot of moisture behind the blade. So when you open the trap, the clean out door, you tend to get a tsunami of water. So I pulled up. This is about right after I got my truck. So my boy was checking out the truck and everything else. We had just finished route. So I got 2 rapid rails and my new ZR. So that here. And so what had happened is he's checking it out and he goes to grab the lever of the clean out door. And I yelled, no. And he pulled on it and he just got drenched with trash juice and water and dirty water and everything else. Yeah, it was hilarious, and I wished I filmed that. I do. Because you know why? Content. Because you would have laughed your tails off at him. And you know what? That was... And I looked at him like a really just disappointed teammate. Like, bro, why did you do that? And meanwhile, my other coworker that was there was laughing her ass off at him. Because it was just like, he jumped up and down and then just sit there and took it because there wasn't nothing else that he can do. Republic WN driver wise. Yeah. Okay, we got some questions in the chat. Oh, wrong one. Take that off there. Do the EVs at Republic have arm delays? Pacific, I do not know that. I am not actually in a EV to tell you. So, that is something I am not 100% sure, but maybe they do. Oh, I know they do because I got yelled at by my supervisor for doing something apparently corporate didn't agree of. They called the office to tell me to not to do that again. So yeah. Oh, you went to nice Mojave, nice. Saw him in person today. Good. Getting out there, anything good? So I do know the settings have it like there's like a 20-second delay between me reading and responding and it getting out to you guys. So bear with me on that. Yeah, mine doesn't really. I think mine has like a second delay. Not even that. I mean, sometimes. Oh, I did have something really interesting happen that happened to my ZR that was actually interesting. So the blade came back and smacked against the bulkhead, which occasionally it causes the engine to rub up. But for some reason, it caused the arm to stop. The engine rubbed up, and I almost launched the cannon to the next county. It literally almost fell out of my. It slammed so hard, like I felt the truck go like lean way over. Like whoa! It actually scared the hell out of me too. 'Cause I thought I was gonna tip over. Yeah, I don't know how that happened and everything else. It's one of those janky. You got to hit the sweet spot to do that, but that scared the hell out of me. So, yeah, that's basically that situation. Yeah. What else did I do? I'm trying to see what else I had here. Yeah. I did have a big tree that today that was in the can that I had to dump, and obviously I'm a professional, and the hopper swallowed it, so there's no problem with that. Let me get this up here to take a look at something. Let me get the. Give me a minute. I'm gonna bring up the radar. We're gonna take a look at the weather real quick. The yeah, it happens. It's one of those things that does happen and everything else. I'm just kind of shocked by it. Okay, so we do got some activity going on here. Looks like we got a. So, if anybody's near Omaha, I'm bringing this up to you guys so you can take a look at it real quick. I'm going to move myself over. Give me 1 second. If anybody's up near the Omaha area, this line is kind of moving in this general direction. So, if anybody's up there, this is something you want to watch out for. Because usually this type of activity tends to get winds, strong winds going and everything else. Once it, nice. Yeah, I've actually with our old auto reach 2419 that's no longer in service. When I was up in Citrus Height and I would use that truck on a frequency, I had a quota for 3 cans. That truck swallowed cans like it was nobody's business. I think that thing was just hungry. Henderson has a new rear loader. Nice. That's where I am. Solid. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still watching it right now, but it's not something. There's one severe thunderstorm warning. It is a watch for the overall cluster, and this activity is going to move into Iowa, and it looks like southern Minnesota. About 2 hours ago, there was a funnel cloud near Janesville, Minnesota. That's unrelated, looks like. Anything on the West Coast? It's kind of quiet, it looks like. So, real quick, Pacific, I'll bring it up for you. So, looking at the Pacific Northwest, we're not seeing anything on radar right now, just returns and everything else. So, it doesn't look like any activity is going on here. But up in Canada, there's this severe thunderstorm watch that they have posted. And there is some activity up in, looks like Alberta and British Columbia. Grand Prairie. And nothing's going on in... Yeah. Oh. Another weather news report I forgot to mention. In Tahoe, in Lake Tahoe, we had another thunderstorm come upon the lake and capsize a boat. However, everybody survived this one, unlike the last one. Yeah, I don't think there's any cells that are going on right now, but let's take a look. Yeah, there's this one little return near Reno. So, but right now, what do we got going on here? So we got 12 warnings that are out, and we got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in Nebraska, 2 in Canada. Looks like we got 4 flash flood warnings, 3 in Colorado, 1 in Florida. The 2 in Colorado, 1 expires in 1 hour, a little less than 30 minutes. The other one expires in 2 hours and 40 minutes. And these are rain gauged indicated in Colorado. Florida is radar indicated, and 1 in Colorado that's up for 25 minutes is also in. Wait, a couple of special marine warnings for Lake Michigan, and 1 for Gulf of America with a waterspout possible. That's in, and also Lake Huron, too. So let's go check out those real quick while we check this out. Yeah, if anybody has any questions on anything, feel free to speak on it. So we're gonna take a look at so we got 1 flash flood warning in the Denver area. Okay. So we'll take a look at, see what we got going on here. Okay, it looks like we got some cell activity, but what do we have in the past 3 hours? Okay. Okay, we had about 2 inches of rain in the Aurora area, and given this is a very populated area, as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to reflectivity. Yes, and it's still raining right now too, so given the area, that could lead to that possible flash flooding area. How's weather in Nebraska? Severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for eastern Nebraska, but we'll get to that in a second. We're going to work our way back east. So we have another flash flood warning here in near Ponza Rosa Park. That's still radar. That's rain gauges indicated. 1 to 2 inches of rain have fallen, beginning ongoing, expected shortly. So these storms are kind of just like sitting here, and that's what's triggering these events. So let's get back to. We're going to get back to Nebraska. We're going to drop in on Omaha. It's radar. So this main cluster is what's going on. We do have a lot of. I did see a lot of reports that looks like wind damage, mesonet, wind damage, public. So yeah, this is kind of like almost like a Del Rancho, I think, or El Rancho is how they call them. That's going on. So this is what is. What's the thunderstorm? Yeah. All right. Have a good night, Minnesota. So this is currently what's going on, as you can see. Let's do a reflectivity look. So that outflow. Yeah. So you can see this boundary here. We're getting winds and. This is it, yeah, 60 miles an hour. So that's serious. That's at that severe level, and as you can see, where the boundary layer. Look at this boundary layer here. Let me take that off. So that shows you how the wind's pushing out. This is a. So yeah, you're gonna get some strong. If you're in this section, you're gonna see some really strong winds. Have you ever been to Omaha? No, I have not. I have not been to Omaha. I've been to everything in this line. Basically. Been to the Southwest. I have not gone farther than the Mississippi, and I had no reason to go north. So let's check out these reports, though. 55 mile an hour mesonet. 53 on a mesonet. So yeah, this cluster is going to continue on. Here, I didn't see any rotation when I looked at it. I just see just straight line winds, and that's what would be the major concern. Tornado watch for Norton? No, there's no tornado watch. The only watch that's in effect is the severe thunderstorm watch for 60 mile an hour wind and 2-inch hail, and that's in effect for another 2.5 hours. Yeah, and isolated scattered large hail and very large hail, 2 inches in diameter, possible scattered gusty winds up to 70 miles an hour. And as you can see how this is all clustered together right here. So, and then obviously this threat continues into... Let's see if we can get ahead of this line, get a better look. You can see this other line that stretches ahead of it. So there was a funnel cloud in one of these cells. That was reported by a storm spotter. Reported the aftershocks of the Russian earthquakes. No, I check on USGS. Well, USGS, I can't necessarily bring that up on the page like that because I'm not sure about the copyright rules. But there's also this activity up in the Michigan area. Near thunder outside your house right now? Yeah. Well, I'm looking in southern Minnesota right now, and this is what we got going on. See all this heavy rain on this line here? So, and if this line, let's bring it back. What's this line doing? Look how slow it's moving, and look how it's generating. Okay, so just this alone, this area here, along the Iowa-Minnesota border, is probably going to get some flash flood warnings. Just judging by the rainfall that's going on right here. And how they're kind of just moving all in the same general direction right after each other. So that's something to definitely be paying attention at. Now, further north we go. The activity, it doesn't seem to have anything going on to it. But as you can see, we get a better picture of what's going on up here. Yeah, so this is just trotting, it looks like in a northeast direction. So this is all moving in a general northeast direction towards basically into Wisconsin. So, yeah. So that's basically, flash flooding is definitely going to be a concern, especially with this area that just continues to get rain over and over again, especially these thunderstorms that are just basically marching in formation. So, yeah. I almost got hit by lightning a few days ago. Yeah, Minnesota, that would not feel good. I mean, it'd be really electrifying. So, yeah. And then obviously we have this activity still too. Bro, what is this? It's a weather chart. Doppler radar, you know? Yeah. We're just checking in on some weather. Just what's going on right now. And looks like New Orleans has that probability. So basically that's what's going on right now. By the way, this tornado was a long track tornado in California. It traveled for 22 miles on the ground in Northern California and was on the ground for an hour and a half. The one rare things that we see. So, bring me back to the front of the page, y'all. Oh, wrong one. And make it big. Hello. So yeah, obviously that was just basically, we were just, obviously, you know, we do that here on the live stream. We check in on the weather, see how everything's doing for everybody. So, yeah. I heard an interesting rumor. An interesting rumor about that Waste Management and Republic may be looking at a possible some type of partial merger or something. I don't know. I heard a rumor. It's not been confirmed. I'm not going to speculate. I just want to note that to you guys so you can go snoop and see what you find. But yeah, now that basically it is, that's what I got. My brother's friend's doing, like I said, he's doing okay. He's still in the hospital, but he should be fine. And apparently our other friend also broke his rib at the river. I don't know, some, like I said, just weird things are just happening. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope it doesn't happen to me either. I work for Waste Management. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't like them micromanaging policies. So, but yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut out early because, like I said, I'm going to get some sleep. I ain't very tired. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the editing to get those videos out. And again, we're going to be working on those. And then Friday night, we're going to, looks like, depending on how quick I get back, but Getting pizza on Courtesy of Republic. They're giving us some what is it? Papa Murphy's Take and Bake pizzas for us for basically our contribution to the Blue Crew. Yeah, no raises, but pizza. Pizza will do fine. Y'all seen those memes? But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It's free food and it's good food. So, but yeah, thanks for guys tuning in tonight and getting these updates. And like I said, I'll have those videos. Hopefully, have those videos out. And then obviously, I'm also going to get more videos out on Saturday as well. But yeah, Friday at 7. Maybe start earlier if I get home earlier. And we're gonna run for several hours watching, some videos content, caught up on the content that everybody wants to show and share on the channel. So, all right, guys, this is it. I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep, and I will see y'all either tomorrow or definitely